the downtown at 2:15. Your lipstick on my collars still carried your perfume. The bartender kept polishing the same old glass all night, while I rehearsed goodbye beneath the yellow lights. And every cab that passed me by looked like a chance you're bound. But this town keeps dancing without us. The band still swings, the glasses still shine. You left me standing under Broadway with your name still hanging in the skyline. The waiter asked if I'd be having to again tonight. Oh, I laughed and said the lady found a brighter kind of light. Outside Avenue kept roaring like it never knew my name. Funny how a million people make a man feel small that way. And every way on the block still makes me turn my head and stop. But this town keeps dancing without us. The band still swings, the glasses still shine. You left me standing under Broadway with your name still hanging in the skyline. I bought the ring down on 47th, 3 paychecks and a borrowed suit. Now it sleeps inside my dresser drawer beside the matchbook from our favorite room. And this town keeps dancing without us. The trumpets cry while the chandeliers glow. I raise my glass to the ghost beside me, then walk alone through the falling snow. These streets don't care who broke your heart, they just keep singing new songs for strangers in the dark. The weather girl said 72 again today. Another cloudless afternoon on Santa Monica Way. The palms stood still like painted props along the boulevard, while I pretended sunshine doesn't hit this hard. Everybody calls this paradise. Guess they never loved somebody twice, because the weather in California never seems to match the state I'm in. The skies stay blue for everybody else, while my whole world's wearing thin. They smile beneath the golden light. I just keep pulling down the blinds. Yeah, the weather in California has a funny way of being cruel tonight. A couple kiss beside the pier like scenes in magazines. Their laughter floated through the air above the limousine. bartender kept slicing limes and humming old love songs. I stayed until the neon signs were shutting down. Even oceans can't erase the memory of your face, because the weather in California never seems to match the state I'm in. The sunset burns like melted gold while I'm drinking slow gin. Everybody says this town heals hearts. Maybe mine just takes its time. Yeah, the weather in California has a funny way of being cruel tonight. I bought a house with ocean windows, thought we'd fill the rooms with kids. Now the only thing that visits is a fog rolling over the hills. And the weather in California still refuses rain on nights like these. The stars come out above the canyon roads like they don't notice me. So I'll raise my glass to paradise and wear this heartbreak like a tie. 'Cause the weather in California looks beautiful while goodbye survives. 72 degrees tomorrow. That's what they say. A professor down on Lexington kept talking circles every night. Youth are words so long and polished they could blind you in the light. He'd fill the room with theories till the ashtray overflowed. But the janitor beside him said more truth in 10 short words. Funny how the smartest men sometimes hide behind the smoke. If you really know the answer, you can say it plain and slow. Truth don't need a golden jacket or a 10-page picture show. Love is coffee in the morning. Trust is somebody staying late. And wisdom sounds much smaller than the noise pretenders make. I knew a lawyer from Manhattan who could argue black from blue, till his little girl asked why he missed her birthday after school. He stood there speechless in the kitchen with his briefcase in his hand. Sometimes life explains itself before a man can understand. A crowded room can miss the point while one quiet voice gets through. If you really know the answer, you don't need to raise your voice. Every honest conversation leaves a little room for choice. A song ain't stronger 'cause it's louder. A suit ain't richer 'cause it's new. And the hardest thing in life is making simple things ring true. My father fixed old radios with nothing but a wrench and time. Never finished school past 16. Still somehow taught me more than mine. So if you find a little wisdom after all the smoke clears out, don't dress it up for strangers. Just say what you mean out loud. 'Cause every complicated fool eventually fades from view. But simple words said honestly stay with people their whole life through. Yeah, that's the trick of it, kid. Simple. 8 million stories buzzing underneath the subway lights. A saxophone on 52nd keeps arguing with the night. The lady at the corner stands still, calls me kid somehow, even though the years have carved their signatures by now. This town can break your heart by noon, then hand it back beneath the moon. New York, you loud, beautiful machine, where dreamers wear their scars like tailor-made cologne and steam. Every cab ride feels like trouble. Every skyline shines too bright, but nobody stays lonely very long in New York tonight. A dancer from Astoria kissed me once outside the Strand, then disappeared like cigarette smoke slipping through my hands. The Yankees lost in extra innings down on Avenue A. Still strangers filled the bars like they'd all won anyway. Funny how this restless town still makes a man feel young somehow. New York, where the broke still fire escape holds somebody chasing bigger things. The coffee tastes like midnight, the sidewalks move too fast, but every soul here talks like they were born to last. I tried Chicago for a winter, California for a while, but nowhere else applauds your failures quite the way this city smiles. New York, you stubborn work of art, you patch a man's tuxedo while you're tearing up his heart. And when they write the final headline after all my songs are through, I hope they say I gave my best years to New York and you. Yeah. Take a bow, Manhattan, you beautiful mess. I knew a man who spent 10 years replaying old mistakes, smoking through the midnight hours above a lonely stake. He wore his memories like chains beneath his Sunday clothes, as if one bad decision meant that's how the story goes. But every crack road in this town still points somewhere new. Don't build your home inside the past, those ghosts don't pay the rent. A lesson ain't a life sentence, no matter where you've been. The train still leaves at 8:15, the sun still hits the avenue, and tomorrow doesn't care what yesterday put you through. I lost a marriage in Chicago back in '72. Spent months pretending every drink could make the pain untrue. Then one night in a little bar, a waitress caught my eye. She said, a man who keeps looking backward misses half his life. Funny how a stranger's words can unlock a rusted heart. Don't build your home inside the past, those old regrets grow thin. A lesson ain't a life sentence, even scars can let light in. The city keeps on dancing no matter who walks away, and every blue moon morning still arrives exactly the same. Sure, I still think about mistakes, the faces, names, the slammed front doors, but wisdom ain't forgetting things, it's learning not to live there anymore. So raise your glass to second chances, to all the nights you barely made it through. Every saint was once a sinner, every broken dream can bloom. And if your heart still beats tonight, buddy, you're not finished yet. No, a lesson ain't a life sentence unless you never leave it. That's the thing about tomorrow. It keeps showing up. wasn't looking for somebody when you walked into the room. I had learned to fold my jackets around the quiet in my life. A man gets used to eating dinner with the evening news and sleeping on one side of a king-size bed at night. Then you laughed, and somehow all the walls looked temporary. This ain't the fire we knew at 23. No reckless running through the streets. It's slower now, stronger somehow, like old wine poured carefully. And every scar we tried to hide fits perfectly side by side. Yeah, love looks different the second time around. You keep your late husband's picture by the hallway near the stairs. I still wear my old wedding ring some nights without a thought. Funny how two broken histories can walk into a room and somehow make the whole place feel less lost. No pretending, no chasing dreams too young to hold. This ain't the fire we knew at 23. No slam doors or jealous scenes. It's coffee cups and pickup trucks and knowing what silence means. And every mile that brought us here made this moment crystal clear. Yeah, love looks different the second time around. We don't dance much past midnight. Our knees complain, our backs give out, but your hand still finds my shoulder anytime the lights go down. This ain't the love they write in magazines. No grand parade, no diamond dreams. It's Sunday drives and reading glasses and someone asking how you've been. And after all the years behind, who would have guessed we'd ever find a heart still willing the second time around? Here's to starting over after you already know the cards. I knew a man who fixed old watches down on Houston Street. He swore the world was larger than the maps beneath our feet. Said every locked door in this town was only borrowed space for people scared to test the limits of the human race. He'd smile and say the moon looked impossible once too, So dream like the ceiling was never there, like the skyline ends somewhere past the air. Every great idea begins with somebody called a fool. If the world says stay inside the lines, take a breath and redesign, 'cause imagination's only dangerous to people scared of something new. A waitress out in Brooklyn saved her tips for 7 years, bought a tiny camera, disappeared, then sent postcards from Tangier. Now she's dancing through Morocco underneath electric stars. Funny what can happen when you stop asking who you are. Some folks spend forever waiting for permission never meant to come. So dream like the ceiling was never there, like the skyline ends somewhere past the air. Every masterpiece begins with somebody breaking rules. If your heart keeps pulling at the chain, don't apologize for strange, 'cause imagination's only dangerous to people scared of something new. Maybe we don't get another summer, maybe this old planet spins too fast, but I'd rather chase impossible things than spend my whole life staring back. So dream like tomorrow just changed its mind, like the stars were built for you to climb. Every revolution starts with one soul refusing small, and when they tell you know your place, laugh and throw the script away, 'cause imagination's what keeps lonely hearts from fading then into walls. The world's still bigger than they told us, yeah, much bigger than that. They say a man grows wiser with the passing of the years, learns to hide the cracks beneath his tailored shirts and fears. But every time you smile at me across a crowded room, I feel 25 again beneath a honeymoon moon. And darling, ever rented out of you? Then they must have borrowed your eyes for the color of the morning sky. And every love song ever written was just trying to describe how your hand still fits in mine, like it knew me all my life. Yeah, if angels ever walked among us, they'd probably look like you watch you read beside the lamp in one of my old shirts, laughing at the crossword while the coffee slowly burns. The television's talking, but we never hear a word. Funny how the quiet gets louder when you're loved. Some men spend forever searching for what somehow walked right through my door. Then they must have borrowed your eyes for the shimmer of the city lights. And every dream I almost gave up somehow came alive. Every scar I used to hide looks softer by your side. Yeah, if grace ever learned to dance its sway exactly like you tonight. One day these old hands may tremble, one day the mirror won't be kind. But if you're there beside me laughing, I'll still think I won in life. So let the trumpets play all night, let the chandeliers burn bright. 'Cause after all the lonely decades, love still changed my mind. And if somebody asks me why, I still look younger when you smile. I'll just say heaven sent an answer wrapped in your brown eyes tonight. Look at you, baby. Just look at you. Spent our 20s dodging rent on Bleecker Street, sharing cigarettes and cheap red wine and busted dreams. You wore my jacket through December of '59 and swore one day we'd both be doing just fine. Funny how years can fly, but some things never say goodbye. Here's to the friends who stayed around through every lost and lucky round, the kind who show up uninvited when the whore's letting you down. Scenic route, but somehow we always worked it out. So raise a glass and pull up one more chair tonight. You picked me up outside the county line at 3 after Lucy left and took the better part of me. No speeches, no advice, you just drove through the rain while Sinatra played too softly on the radio again. Some folks fade like old tattoos, some stitched into your shoes. Here's to the friends who stayed around through every lost and lucky round, the kind who laugh before the punchline and still defend you out of town. Yeah, time keeps stealing little things, but not the nights we used to sing. So raise a glass and pull up one more chair tonight. One day the bars will all close early, one day the hair will all turn gray, but I can still hear us arguing about the Yankees in the pouring rain. Here's to the friends who stayed around, the stubborn souls that held their ground through broken hearts and empty pockets. You never let me hit the ground. And when they write my final line, I hope they say I spent my time sitting with the ones who knew me best tonight. Yeah. The 2 a.m. train rolled in beneath a tired yellow light. A conductor half asleep called out the stops into the night. Steam curled around the platform like a cigarette gone thin, and every stranger wore the kind of face that never wins. Funny how these midnight rails carry every kind of ghost. Night trains and old heartaches, suitcase nobody claims, windows glowing through the dark like memories without name. Everybody's going somewhere, trying to outrun what remains, but the tracks keep singing softly through the lonely city rain. A woman in a velvet coat kept staring at her hands. A soldier slept beside the door, still holding wedding bands. The coffee tasted burned to death down at the station bar. And somewhere past the Jersey line, a trumpet cried alone. Every whistle down the line sounds like something left behind. Night trains and old heartaches, tickets folded thin with age. Neon flickers on the glass like scenes torn from a stage. Some folks ride toward forever, some just ride to numb the pain. But the tracks keep humming low beneath the sleepless city rain. My father worked these rail yards 30 winters in the cold. Said every train leaves carrying a story nobody told. Night trains and old heartaches rolling slow through faded towns, silver rails beneath the moon, like promises worn down. Still I buy another ticket every time you cross my mind, hoping one late train might carry me back to better times. Now boarding track number 9.